कीर्ति प्रदे अखिल मनोरथ दे महारी विद्या प्रदायिनी सरस्वती नौमि नित्यम। ओम ऐं सरस्वत्यै नमः। प्रेम से बोलो श्री सरस्वती माता की जय। Praises be to that divine mother. Before I go any further, I would just like to take a couple of minutes to explain the meaning of that prayer, because when we are praying, obviously we pray in a different language from what we are accustomed to speaking. So we must know what we are saying. If we have an idea, at least an idea of what we are saying, then the prayer will have more bhakti. There will be more devotion behind it, rather than just mumbling some words with our mouth. So what does that prayer mean? Veena dhare vipula mangala danishile. Veena dhare means she who holds the veena in her hand. The veena is a stringed musical instrument. It is not a sitar. I must make that correction. A lot of people say that Mother Saraswati holds a sitar in her hand. The sitar was only invented a few hundred years ago, relatively recently in the terms of Indian history. But the veena is an authentic, ancient Indian instrument, and that is what Mother Saraswati holds in her hand. Veena dhare vipula mangala danishile. The sound of it is auspicious. Everything that surrounds her is auspicious, is positive. That's what that line means. Bhaktarti nashini. So her bhakta, that means her devotees, if they have any problem or difficulties in life, she is the one who destroys them. Nashini means the destroyer of all of the problems that are experienced by her devotees. Viranchi Harisha Vande. Viranchi is a name for Lord Brahma. Hara is a name for Lord Shiva. And Isha is a name for Lord Vishnu. It means that Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu all bow down to her and always praise her, because her gifts are so important that even the other devatas, never mind us ordinary mortals, but the other devatas value her and cherish her because of that. Kirti prade akhila manurata de maharhe. Kirti means fame, that if you want to achieve fame in this world, she is the one who will give it to you. Now, we are not talking about fame in an arrogant sense, that I want everybody to know how good I am and what I do and everything. We should not strive for fame with that mentality. But rather, we must understand that our duty is to make a positive mark upon this earth. As one speaker eloquently put it, I'm not claiming credit for this quotation, I heard it from somebody else, that we should aspire to inspire before we expire. There's a quotation meaning that before we leave this world, all of us will have to leave this body behind someday. But before that time comes, we should try to inspire in such a way that when we are gone, a positive mark is left upon this earth because of us, for the benefit of other people. Mother Saraswati is the one who will give us the ability to do that. Manoratha de maharhi. Whatever our mind desires, she granted it to us. That does not mean that anything we ask for, she'll give it to us. It means that anything that we need, really, if we ask her for something and it is for our benefit, then she will grant it. If we ask for something and we didn't get it from her, it means it was not for our benefit. Sometimes we want so many things, not knowing that it could cause harm to us. Vidya, and the last line says, Vidya Pradayini Saraswati Naumi Nityam. It means that Vidya Pradayini, that she is a giver of knowledge, the giver of intellect. And we bow down to her every day. So, in a nutshell, that's what that prayer is saying. Why have I chosen to pay reverence to Mother Saraswati? Because we know that the occasion of Vasant Panchami is fast upon us. The occasion of Vasant Panchami by the end of this month, everybody will be celebrating it. all of the respective mandirs will be celebrating this wonderful occasion. There are two significances for this occasion. One, and first and foremost, we must remember, it is a day to worship Mother Saraswati. That is something very important for us to remember. And the second significance of it is that we plant Holika. It is a planting of Holika. But what tends to happen, that we get so caught up in the planting of Holika that we forget that it is also a day to worship Mother Saraswati. So it is important, let us not forget that. In the celebration of, in the leading up to Phagwa, which is the Vasant Panchami is the first day of that, let us not get so lost in it that we forget that we are supposed to be revering Mother Saraswati as well, offering puja to her. And this is especially important for those children and younger people who are still pursuing their studies, still pursuing academic studies. As we have said before, Mother Saraswati is the one who will give you, do not wait before the exam to pray to her. Unfortunately, this is a trend in our society, that when we need something, then we suddenly remember to pray to Bhagavan. And that can apply to students as well. Meaning that if you have an exam a certain day, it is only either the night before or the morning of that we'll remember Mother Saraswati. But you see, rather than leave it like that, we should make it a habit that every day we pray to her. Because remember, even if we are not studying, we still need to use our mind. If our mind does not function properly, we will not function properly in life. To get out of bed in the morning and do what you have to do for the day, all of that needs your mind to be functioning properly. And then that is because of Mother Saraswati. We have to communicate with other people. This world is such now, especially today. You cannot just sit down by yourself and do things. You generally have to communicate. And it is Mother Saraswati who gives us the ability to communicate. So all of us, not students only, all of us, and the gifts that she gives us, we need to use them every day of our lives. So we must pray to her every day of our lives as well. But Vasant Panchami is a day especially for her. So children especially, I encourage all of you, if you haven't done so already, buy a new exercise book. In this country, I think they call them notebook or composition book. Buy a new one. Buy a new pen or pencil and offer it to Mother Saraswati, asking her that whatever notes you take here will benefit you and you'll memorize them very easily. Take this opportunity on the day of Vasant Panchami, you must make that offering to Mother Saraswati. So we are discussing Vasant Panchami and Mother Saraswati today. We'll be discussing Chautal as well. That's a big part of the celebration of Vasant Panchami. So we'll be having a break now. And during this break, please do stay with us because we have a wonderful selection for you to listen to. So please do sit back and enjoy that selection. And I will be back with you again in a few moments. Jai Shri Ram.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणा वरदण्डमण्डितकरा या
Jai Shri Ram, Sitaram, welcome back to Akash Vani Media Gyan Upadesh. I do indeed hope you enjoy that selection, and it put you in the mood to think about Mother Saraswati. Now let me talk about Mother Saraswati a little bit more. First of all, we all know that the color white is associated with her. She always wears white sari. Her veena is white. Her the lotus flower that she sits upon is white. In fact, she sits upon a swan really, and also with a lotus flower underneath. The swan is white. Everything, the chandan she wears is white. Everything about her is the color white. Why is that? Because white is a color you associate with cleanliness. If you have a white cloth, for example, any slight stain or blemish will show up on it very easily. And our mind is the same way. We have a duty to keep our mind and our intellect clean, and it's very difficult to do so. Any slight blot on our mind has a bad effect on us. So that's why that white cloth represents the mind and the intellect. It's something you have to make an extra effort to keep clean and make sure there is no stain on it, because the stain is very, very obvious. So that is what the white cloth represents. But one thing I want to emphasize is that on the day of Vasant Panchami, Mother Saraswati changes her clothing on that day and actually wears yellow. This is something not a lot of people know. So that's why I decided to discuss this on today's program. On the day of Vasant Panchami, the day of planting of Holika, Mother Saraswati changes her clothing from white to yellow instead. So we must use yellow things to worship her. Why? Because Vasant Panchami, and I'll be discussing this a bit more in the next segment of the program, besides it being a day dedicated to Mother Saraswati and the planting of Holika and so on, it also marks the beginning of spring, the spring season, Vasant. Vasant means spring actually. And now I can discuss the meaning of the name of the festival. Vasant means spring, and Panchami means the fifth day. So it is actually the fifth day of the month. The month is called Magha. The Sanskrit, the Hindu month is called Magha, and it is in the bright half. That means the moon is getting bigger. It is the fifth day, and that is why it's called Panchami, Vasant Panchami. And that is the beginning of spring. And you know, during springtime, especially in northern India, if you were to go, you will see the fields bloom up yellow, nice and yellow. You see it in the movies sometimes. They make scenery with it. And because of that, the whole place, the predominant color in springtime is yellow. And to commemorate that, in honor of the season, Mother Saraswati changes her clothing, as I said, from white to yellow instead. So this is one exception. A lot of people say, you know, Mother Saraswati everything must be white all the time. This is one exception that we must be aware of. Use yellow. Or you offer yellow clothing to her instead on this day. You offer yellow flowers to her instead of white ones on this day. You also wear yellow clothing on that day of Vasant Panchami. Instead of wearing white as you normally would for Mother Saraswati. Now I know that mostly men are supposed to wear white. The ladies whose husband are alive generally do not wear white. That is correct. But a lot of people like to wear white when they're worshipping Mother Saraswati. But on this day, I say it again, as I said a few moments ago, we should strive to wear yellow on the day of Vasant Panchami. So, as we are not exactly on the day of Vasant Panchami, I have not worn my yellow today, but when you attend your mandir on the day of Vasant Panchami, you should wear yellow clothing. Everybody. This applies to males and females. It is a very good thing to know. And apart from that, we have discussed the color that we use for Mother Saraswati. So as I said already, she holds a veena as well. That is obvious. That represents music. She holds a book in her hand. And she holds what is called Spatik Mala. Spatik Mala, Spatik means crystal. You see what I'm wearing here? I have Rudraksh Mala. This is Rudraksh Mala. This is a bead sacred to Lord Shiva. And then I have Tulsi Mala also. This is made from the wood of the Tulsi tree. This is sacred for Lord Vishnu. There are different types of mala we can wear. One is called Spatik Mala. Spatik is crystal actually. It's a clear crystal. And that is the one that Mother Saraswati holds in her hand. And again on that day, if we have one, it's not always available, we can find a mala like that, made of crystal beads instead of these beads, then we should wear it also. Because what that represents is that our mind should be transparent. It should not be clouded. Our mind must be clear like that. Our thoughts must be clear like that crystal. Our thinking must be clear like that crystal. There must be nothing to obscure our thoughts when we think about Mother Saraswati. So that is why she holds that particular mala in her hand. The swan is her vehicle. Now what is special about the swan? If you have a glass of milk, you know, milk, it has water in it. Otherwise, it will not be liquid. It is comprised of water along with other elements as well. The swan has a mechanism in its beak whereby the swan can separate out the water from the other elements of the milk and separate it into two different substances. Besides that, there is no other way that they can be separated. That is what is unique about the swan. Now, why is that significant? Because in today's world especially, good and bad are mixed up very much. Sometimes we do not know what is right and wrong because they can become so intermixed. But we have to have that ability in our mind to separate what is right and separate what is wrong. So the ability of the swan to separate the milk in that manner represents our ability to separate good from bad, never mind how intermixed they might be. So that is the significance of the swan. So in a few words, those are the various significances of Mother Saraswati. And also we should prepare special prasad for her on that day and go to our mandir and offer it and let the children sit down and perform puja. Now we are coming to an end to this segment, not the whole program, just this segment, and we have another selection coming up for your listening pleasure. So please do remain and relax and listen to this selection, enjoy it. And then I'll be coming to the main part now, the exciting part of this celebration, which is the planting of Holika. That's what I'll be discussing in the next segment. So please do stay with us for the explanation of the planting of Holika. Jai Shri Ram.
कई दिहल रचना तुलसी के जब तू कलम में समैलू काहे अनु कितना बखानी सुनी है मैया शारदा भवानी वीणा के बजैया सातो सुर के रचैया हंस पे सवार होके आजा मोरी मैया
वीणा के बजैया सातो सुर के रचैया हंस पे सवार होके आजा मोरी मैया
जयति जय मां जय सरस्वती जयति जय मां जय सरस्वती जयति वीणा वादिनी जयति जय मां जय सरस्वती जयति पद्मासन हे माता जयति शुभवरदायिनी जयति पद्मासन हे माता जयति शुभवरदायिनी जगत का कल्याण कर मां जगत का कल्याण कर मां तुम हो विघ्न विनाशिनी जयति जय मां जय सरस्वती कमल आसन छाड़ी दे मां कमल
Jai Shri Ram. Welcome back to Akash Vani Media, Gyan Upadesh. I hope you enjoyed that selection that we played for you just now. We are talking about Vasant Panchami and Mother Saraswati. Now, I have discussed Mother Saraswati at length already. So now let me move on to the planting of Holika, that element of the festival. Those are the two elements of Vasant Panchami. And this is the one that people really look forward to. But as I said before, in enjoying this part, let us not forget the importance of Mother Saraswati on that day. So, planting of Holika. We all know that it leads up to the burning of Holika and the celebration of Phagwa. Now we must understand that Phagwa or Holi is always associated with the story of Prahalad, Bhakta Prahalad, and